Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about something that is apparently a problem, which is telling the truth about what you wear and telling the truth about how perception is reality. So, let me explain to you guys what I'm talking about here. Sherri Shepherd was on her show. As you know, she has a talk show and she made some comments about the dresses at the Oscars. And in short, she said, listen, y'all are trashy. They look bad. Y'all are not leaving anything to the imagination. Learn to have some class. These are classy events. And this is nothing new. For years, the older aunties, as we would call them, have started to come out and say, hey, you guys, there's a time and place for nudity. There's a time and place for these kinds of outfits, I guess. And the Oscars is a classy event, and this is not it. And she is in hot water for what I say is telling the truth. So, what I want to do today is I want to just watch this video and react to it with you guys. And I want to talk about respectability politics. We love that word as a derogatory term. But here's the thing, guys. Bottom line is you have to deal with the world in the way that it is, not in the way that you wish it to be. If you want people to change their perception of you, then you have to act in ways that that command that. And so we're going to talk about that. But first, I want to listen to her comments. And I have to warn you, if you have children around, this is not for them. The outfits are absolutely, although she does have them blurred out, they are inappropriate and borderline sexual. So I would recommend that you just go ahead and leave the littles out of the room for this video because they can listen to the audio, of course, but the images on the screen are not going to be appropriate for children. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll be stopping in periodically to comment on my opinion, but just know I am not someone who thinks that it's appropriate to walk around with your whole body out. I actually am of the old school mindset that the most confident people don't need to be naked because there's more to them and their bodies, and their perceptions of themselves than their bodies.
So, y'all, the Vanity Fair Oscars after party seem to have an unwritten theme.
Okay, hold on, you guys. Let me just make sure this is actually showing up for you guys because now I'm using a new headset.
Need to go live at.
And I want to make sure
for you guys because now I'm using something in period. So, y'all, the Vanity Fair.
Oh, perfect. Okay, it's working. Audio's good. Okay, you guys, if it starts to sound funny, can you guys let me know in the comment section? Because I'm trying to get a better audio. And so I've been using a headset lately, but then sometimes I worry about like how it sounds. So
it was just a lot of nudity. Okay. When I tell you the ladies bared it all on the red carpet, it was just almost too much to show on daytime TV.
It wasn't almost too much to show. It was too much to show. It was absolutely too much to show.
It was really bad. Like Julia Fox wore a completely sheer dress that barely covered her cookie jar. Okay, and I'm telling now, we blurred it out. This was fully, you could see everything. Zoe Kravitz graced us with her butt crack. You could see everything. Megan The Stallion wore a dark green gown with only matching green pasties to cover up her breasts. And so this is where I have to put my Auntie Sherri wig on. And I say this with all of the love that I have. Ladies, this is not it. And I say this because there are young women, young girls who are looking up to all of you.
And a lot of people will say, well, I didn't ask for this. Well, the bottom line is this, and this is what I tell my athletes too. The minute you decide that you want fame is the minute that you decide that you want power. And with that power comes, unfortunately, the responsibility of being a role model, whether you like it or not. And people will say, oh, well, parents, need to be monitoring their children. Yes. But who are you marketing your music to? A lot of these people are in videos, right? There's, oh, I care about young girls and I care about young girls who look like me. And I want to tell these young girls that no, you are a role model. I don't care that you don't want to be, you are. And that's why I said at the beginning of this video, dealing with life as it is, not how you wish it to be. We wish we could walk around and there were no consequences to our actions. There are consequences. I tell my athletes the same thing. The minute you become the best athlete on the track, people are watching you. You become a role model. They're deciding How do I want to respond to negativity? How do I want to respond to failure? People are watching you. You don't get to go around and be in power without having that responsibility. And this is not it.
All of you. And like, you're going to have these young girls, these young ladies emulating you. And you remember when your grandmother would tell you, let them use their imaginations, be a little mysterious. But you know, when they look at these girls, they don't have any secrets. Nobody gets to use imagination or their mind. And I want to say, Megan Thee Stallion, I love you. I do. But I'm so upset because God gave you a legitimate gift. You got it. You are amazing with your lyrical rhymes and how smart you are. And I know people, a lot of these celebrities, they say they don't want to be a role model. But here's the thing. It comes with the territory.
Exactly. And I love that she pointed this out. Like, you have a real talent. Leave this sort of like, look at my body, don't look at me for idiots. Leave that for people, no offense, like the Kardashians. Leave that for them. Meg The Stallion has a whole degree. She actually has intelligence. And I love that Sherri pointed this out, is that your worth is not in your body. And maybe she'll talk about this a little bit later too, but you don't get to say, I want to be respected, I want to be valued, but then the thing that you call the most attention to is your body. I'm sorry, but that is called hypocrisy and it's called incongruency. You have to be able to, what you command is how you treat yourself. And when you treat yourself like there's nothing sacred about you by showing your body off, then people don't have to treat you like you're sacred. It's very simple. If you want to be respected, do respectable things. If you want to be commended, do commendable things. If you want to be valued, do valuable things. Treat yourself valuably. Human beings respond to how you treat yourself. I don't have to like it. I'm responding to life the way that it is, not how that I wish it to be. Human beings respond to how you treat yourself. There are people who will know, oh, I can't mess with her because I know that she values herself. That's someone who respects herself. I was about to say something and I don't think it's appropriate, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Being a role model, you can't escape it, because Megan, when you said you graduated from college, do you know how many young girls you inspired to go to school also? You didn't ask for that. You didn't ask for that, but they were watching you.
And to be real, to be honest, that was one of her talking points. I'm a rapper and I went to college, and I want people to know that they can do both. So stop with the foolishness that you are not asking to be a role model. You know that you have influence. Let's not even use the word role modeling. Let's talk about influence. The minute that you know you have influence, you need to take responsibility for that influence. And again, let's put aside the young girls for a second. Let's talk about how you want people to treat you. Again, the minute that you say, oh, I want to be respected for my intellect, like I'm not just a rapper. Okay, babe, but what you're treating yourself like is just a harlot, like the way that you're dressed. So which one is it? Do you want to be respected for your intellect, for your talent? Or do you want to be seen for your dress, for your hot body, yada, 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 yada? Because again, when we put our body on the front line as something that we want people to see, the message that we're sending people, whether we like it or not, is that this is the thing that I want you to see. And in fact, it's don't come any deeper. Let me do this shocking thing so you don't ask me any other questions. So you don't get to know me more deeply. So I don't have to have intimacy with you. Here's my body. Yeah, no.
And I know people say, well, you know, Lil' Kim did it. But I remember when I saw it, I was like, why is she doing that? Like, she doesn't have to do that because she's so talented. And I know Megan, as an artist, you get a little raunchy. I didn't heard WAP and body yada yada. But I also say, and I listen to those songs too, but I also say, to whom much is given, much is required. And if you say, well, how do I know that these young girls are looking up to you? Because they look up to me too. And I get more girls coming up to me, young girls saying, Miss Sherri, I want to be a talk show host, or I want my own talk show, or I want to be an actress. I want to do what you do. So they are watching. And I'm not trying to shame any.
Okay, and then I want to make a point about this too, because this is specific also to the Black community. We don't, so, okay, if you're not Black, this is a different, you're maybe, how do I want to say this? Okay, the majority of the culture is white, right? In the United States, that's the majority of the population, right? That's a majority, even if it's not the majority of the population at this moment, which it might be. I think there's some switching around going on. Who is portrayed on television is mostly white people. That is who are mostly portrayed in movies, television shows, etc. What that means is that they have like, if you're white, a white young girl, there are so many different white women that you can look up to, right? Because there's so many of them. There's a wide range of personalities, of, of intellect, of ethics, of careers, because you're seeing them frontline and center all the time. When you're Black, there's not that many of us thrust to the forefront. So that means that there's slim pickings for Black girls to be role modeled after, if they're looking purely at skin color. I'm not saying that women or young girls only look for role models that have the same skin tone as them, or the same race or ethnicity. What I'm saying is that, because of course you look at people who look like you. So since there's not that many Black women thrust to the forefront in terms of just everyday commercials, movies, etc., when a Meg The Stallion or a Sherri Shepherd comes along, they are like, young girls are absolutely just enthralled with these women, and just trying to squeeze every ounce of information from these women. And so it doesn't matter that you don't want to be, unfortunately, because of the population. The minute you are a Black woman, the young Black girls are looking up to you. They are. And Sherri won't say that Black specifically, but that's just a fact. And so I don't want us to be naive in saying, well, there's so many other women to look up to. You're right. But when you're a young Black girl, you're typically looking at a woman who looks like you. So you're looking for a woman who has the same sort of like skin tone, or the same sort of, even like features. So those are who you're looking up to. And so this is very specific to Black culture in that way, where we, whoever is thrust to the forefront are role models for the majority of the culture, whether we like it or not.
Anybody, I'm just concerned where all this is going. I said it before when I talked about Kanye's wife, who went to the Grammys last month, and she took off her coat and had nothing on. It literally, it wasn't just her cookie jar. We saw cakes and croissants too when she was standing there. But the one thing I would say is she looked very uncomfortable. At the end of the day, if you look at his wife, she looked, Bianca Cinciori or something like that. She looked really uncomfortable because you're standing in front of a bunch of men who are watching it. And this is what I said, we have to think about our future. And all y'all who are sitting out there, these young girls that are emulating you, they don't have security around them. So they're emulating you, and they go to these parties and something tragic could happen.
And I know what people are going to say, well, people shouldn't be, that's on the men. It is. But again, when I taught health, and we had a unit on health on personal safety, I said, I wish that you could go to a party in college, or go to a bar when you guys are old enough, and that you don't have to worry about somebody slipping something into your drink. I wish. That is not reality. That is not reality. So it doesn't matter. Number one, I don't think it's not appropriate to be naked. Like, it's actually a crime. Did you guys know that? Like, in some states, it is a crime to be fully nude in public. It's indecent exposure. And I fear that this is a sort of grooming for people. It's pornographic. If I'm being 100% honest, it's pornographic, and it's grooming. It's grooming the country to become more and more desensitized to pornography, and more desensitized to sexuality. and become less, for it to become less sacred, right? Because for a while, it was, hey, cover up. That's something for your husband. That's something that's sacred. And now it's like, no, 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 no. The complete opposite of what we have been taught. And I love that Sherri pointed out the discomfort. Okay. All of these people will walk around, they will lie to you to your face and say, I'm confident. Bianca, and I don't know if Bianca's confident. I don't know. But I can tell you that Sherri's right. She looked very uncomfortable, like she was being used, because that's what it is. It's a form of prostitution where you are being doled out on the red carpet with no clothes on and you're a show. The only thing is that you're not giving up the goods, but you are a show. It's like OnlyFans in the flesh. And I just wonder, because I think she might share a couple other people like Ciara. And it's like, do you really think that that means that you value yourself? Like, are you really comfortable sharing your whole body? Like, is there nothing left that is sacred? And I will argue all day till the cows come home. I don't know if women who are truly confident do things like this. Is it because you need attention? Because if you need attention, then you're not confident. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm glad that she pointed out that that the girl looked uncomfortable. Bianca, she looked uncomfortable. She always also looks drugged to me, but that's another conversation for another day.
These are our future, these young women and these young men. I'm going to get off my soapbox. I love all of y'all, but Auntie Sherri has spoken. And that's the thing. You ain't got to go dressing like I don't want to call out, or you don't have to, dress down to your ankle. Willie made me wear this long dress. But I'm just saying, just think about it when you're putting on this stuff. Like, who am I influencing? Who's going to be watching me? You never know. You never know.
And I think this is really important too, because again, there was a time in society where part of being like motherhood and being an older woman, and this is like a biblical thing, where older women understood that their job was to teach the younger women. And so they conducted themselves in a way, understanding that they had young women looking up to them, whether they wanted to or not. So there's that. Now I want to talk about respectability politics for a little bit, because I know people are like, do what you want. You don't have to, do anything just to make people comfortable. So here's the thing with Black women in particular, there is this stereotype that we are desperately trying to escape. One of the stereotypes is that Black women are sort of these animalistic, hypersexual creatures. And I think if we want people to stop perceiving us as such, then we have to stop walking around like that. We have to learn how to read a room. And so Sherri will not say this, although I think she believes it, but we keep perpetuating the stereotype of raunchy, ghetto, classless women. Now, Bianca and whoever this woman on the cover of my video is, the thumbnail, are also raunchy, classless, and ghetto, right? But we get that label as Black women, and then we continue to engage in such a way that encourages that label. Now, people who despise this will say this is respectability politics. No, this is curating your image. This is part of being emotionally intelligent, is understanding that, again, I'm dealing with the world in the way that it is, not the way that I wish for it to be. So I wish that I could go out and wear whatever I want and do whatever I want, and no one would think twice. The problem is that people don't think that way. And so if you ever want to be seen as someone with class, someone worth something, you have to engage in that way. So yes, it is not appropriate, because here's what happens. People see Meg The Stallion, or they hate respectability politics, right? So they see outfits like Meg The Stallion has on, and they walk around in those things, or they put those pictures on their social media, and they think that that is normal. I can tell you that no healthy person, no employer really, wants someone to walk around with that sort of outfit on. I'm sorry, but it's true. So you can hate respectability politics all you want, but the reality is that everyone engages in respectability politics in some way or another, because that's how you keep your job. The fact that you decide not to pop off on someone because they said something crazy to you is respectability politics. The fact that you go to work and you dress in uniform is respectability politics. And so, of course, I want to be respected. And as such, I need to act in a way that demands that and commands it.
So that's it, off my soapbox.
We're gonna have a good time.
Okay, let me pull up these photos for you guys. I wanted to share this screen with you. One of the things that, so people want to cancel Sherri Shepherd for saying those things. Why? Why are they trying to cancel Sherri Shepherd for saying those things? Because people don't like being told the truth. They don't like being told the truth. We are in a day and age where, and I made this video yesterday, that we are in a day and age where people do not want to hear anything that says, hey, you're wrong. We cannot tolerate correction, and we cannot tolerate people who, older women, like accountability. That's the word I'm looking for. We cannot tolerate accountability. And so what I want to do is I want to go through the comment section of one of these, some of these Instagram posts. Give me 1 second to pull it up. And then I'll share that with you guys, share the screen with you. And what I loved about some of these comments is that I heard a lot of women being like, yeah, I agree. But some people disagreed. So let me add you guys to the screen really quickly. How do I do this? Let's see. Add screen and share screen. There we go. Got it. Okay, so Sherri Shepherd calls out Meg The Stallion and others for wearing revealing outfits. There are young girls looking up to you. And of course, here are the comments. Why are the kids watching this? Where are the parents? Of course, because people want to see this. The problem is that people don't think there's anything wrong with this. Sherri, please, kids should have been in the bed by the time by the time it came on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the parents' job to raise their own kids. Who is Sherri to call somebody out? Your perception of Madi is not the next person's perception. And everyone should understand with that. Oop, that's not good grammar. And stay out of people's business. Do you see what I'm saying? We don't even have a baseline level of modesty anymore. Like, we can't even agree that you shouldn't wear your nipples out. Like, it's degeneracy. I'm sorry, but it's like, it is absolute degeneracy. I'm not saying that you have to dress like Pilgrim's Progress or, women from, Little House on the Prairie, but we can't even agree that like having your crack out is a problem. Like, we're out here justifying like that. And you know what? This woman goes, I didn't see y'all say nothing about Kanye West's wife at the Grammys, though Sherri Shepherd did. Why can't they dress how they want and be a role model? Because it's not healthy. And this is what, like, I can't with society. I think we are headed down a very dangerous direction where people want to be buck naked. Because, okay, this is going to sound so terrible, but I think it's because women think that this is the best way to get attention. They think that this is the best way to get attention, and they don't want to be told to cover up because they actually have such low self-esteem that they don't think that they can get any other attention anywhere else. I understand why people don't agree with her, but judging by the prom outfits I've seen in the past 3 to 4 years, I can see where she's coming from. Finally, somebody with common sense. Because if I see another prom dress on a 16, 18-year-old, I'm a scream. If I see another see-through prom, where do you think they're getting this from? You think your daughter's not on Instagram? You think she's not on TikTok looking at, like, be for real. Be for real. And these parents are like, my daughter's not allowed to listen to their music. Right. I'm sorry, but a lot of these parents are not monitoring their children. I agree with her, but not for the sake of the kids. Kids should not be watching anything or exposed to anything Meg The Stallion because her music is not for children. If Megan wants to be naked in her videos, and that's her choice, and we can choose to watch or not to watch. However, when you are attending an event full of people of all ages highlighting excellence and other great achievements, it is offensive to show up and expose people. And this is the bottom line. It's not like there were only only adults at the Oscars. There were children at the Oscars, or young children at the Oscars. There is a time and a place. Like, learning how to read a room is so important. Learning how to read a room and to show up in a way that commands dignity and respect. And it says, sound like the men at these parties might be the problem, not their clothing choices. This is someone who doesn't understand how the choices in clothing that someone makes reflects how they feel about themselves. So glad folks are speaking out. Can we please bring back class and dignity? Let's read a couple more and then I'm going to get off of here. Oops. This generation doesn't have class, dignity, or even shame. Yes, I have a whole video talking about bringing back shame. We think that it's a flex to not feel any guilt or any sort of like conviction around anything. But then where's the boundary? Where's the boundary? If this is appropriate, if what Kanye West is wearing is appropriate, why is what's the point of OnlyFans? Where's the line? Where's the line? These new artists push the envelope to degrade society, and it's definitely working. And I said that in my video earlier, that this is a way to desensitize society to class and respect and dignity. This is just the beginning. But do you see white women dressed like that? What don't think about y'all? It's look bad. Okay, I can't read that. Of all the people to call out, please leave Meg alone. What is crazy to me is that people have these they worship these celebrities, right? So we have these untouchables. The irony is the fact that she's untouchable actually proves Sherri's point. Don't leave Meg alone. No, Meg is the kind of person that really should be think because her presence is so big online, in person, globally, she is the kind of person that should be thinking about these things. Women have made it acceptable to dress like this, like they are at the strip club. We get it, your body, your choice, but also you have understand that you don't have to wear revealing clothing everywhere you go. Exactly. I love this. Raising kids is a truly a community effort, like it or not. Exactly. Exactly. Whether, again, we're wishing that we live in a world in general where we like to pretend society isn't the way it is. People will say, I'm not doing that. I'm not engaging in respectability politics, and fine. Stay in your downtrodden life and never moving up in the world because you won't play the respectability politics game. Fine. But live in the world as it is, not how you wish it to be. If it was Beyonce, she wouldn't have said a word. That's not true. Okay. And this, I'll read this last one. Y'all don't love when women hold other women accountable. You can be sexy and clothed. You must hold yourself to a higher standard. That's right. We don't like being told what's right and what's wrong. We don't like being told that we look a mess. And honestly, if people were not triggered, there'd be nothing to say about it. But people are triggered because they know deep down inside that this is ick. They know that this is not appropriate. And I think it's just the idolization of celebrities where we can't see past this. Believe, whether you like it or not, celebrities have an influence on our culture. Like culture abroad, culture like, broadly, and also as a Black community. So whether or not you want to believe that or not, it's the truth. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. I think there's nothing wrong with what Sherri Shepherd said, and maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I just think that I just want us to bring back class and dignity and self-respect, and, learn how to respect ourselves with what we wear. One of the benefits of understanding fashion is understanding that sexy doesn't mean that you have to be naked. It actually, like, you can actually wear clothes, be fully clothed, and look alluring. And in fact, I think this dress would have been sexy, honestly, that Meg is wearing, if it was actually covered up. Like if she had actually just worn a regular sweetheart neckline, because of the feathers, because of the neckline. Like I think there was so much that she could have done. Like needing to have her nipple out was not the move. So anyway, you guys, thanks for watching this video. Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you disagree with me, that's fine. You just can't do so disrespectfully. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.